Here's the easiest way to set up your own Minecraft Fabric server and how to invite other people outside your local network to join it. So let's start by searching up Fabric. Open up the website, click on the big download button, and then click on the download for Windows button. I'd imagine this button would change depending on if you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Once your download is done, create a new folder anywhere on your PC. This folder will contain all our server-related files, and it doesn't matter where on your PC this folder is located. I'll be creating mine on the desktop. The folder name doesn't matter either. Move the Fabric installer into that folder too. Now open up that folder and run the installer. Click on this server tab. Here you'll see the Minecraft version and the Fabric versions. By default, they're on the latest versions, but you can change them if you want to. Now go ahead and click on Install. When this window shows up, click on Download Server Jar. And finally, click on this Generate button. Now go ahead and close everything. The next step is to configure how much RAM we want to give the server. You can do that by right-clicking on the start.bat file and clicking on this Edit button, or by simply opening it in Notepad. This number here is what determines how much RAM is allocated to the server. By default, it's set on 2. You can increase this to however much your system can handle. My PC is running on 8 gigs of RAM, so I'm going to dedicate 4 to the server. Then click on Save and close the edit. Now go ahead and double-click on start.bat to run the server. Now you might have run into this error on screen. Don't worry, there's a simple fix for this. Open your browser and search up JDK Development Kit. Click on the first link. Scroll down on the page till you find this x64 download link. Click on it and download the installer. Once it's downloaded, run and install the program. Now when you run the server again, it should ask you to agree to the EULA. When you close the CMD window, you should notice there's a new file called eula.txt. Open it up and change this false to true, and then save the file. Now this time when you run the start.bat file, it'll create the world and start running the server without any problems. Now you can join your own server by typing in localhost into the server address. The next step is to allow our server through our firewall, and this step is very, very easy. In the description, I'll have 4 commands. Go ahead and copy all of them together. Open Windows Search and type in PowerShell. Open it as administrator. Now just press Ctrl+V or click on the right mouse button to paste in the commands. Then just press Enter to run the command and it should do its thing. Now we need to move on to enabling port forwarding on our router settings. The process should be the same regardless of whatever router you have. In my case, it's AZTE model. But in all routers, you should be able to find a section called Port Forwarding. Now select the protocol to be TCP and UDP. For these WAN ports, paste in the server port which we used earlier. Now we need to fill in this LAN host IP address. To do that, open your start and search up CMD and run it as administrator. Now type in ipconfig and press Enter. This IPv4 address is the one we need. Go ahead and copy it. You can just select it and press Ctrl+C. Now you can paste the IP into this field, and finally paste the port number into these 2 fields too. This is basically what you need to replicate into your router settings. The layout and wording might be different, but it'll essentially ask you the same thing. Now you can go ahead and start up your server. And in order to invite people onto your server who are outside your local network, we need to share our public IP with them. You can find out what your public IP is by simply Googling it. Use that IP as the server address, and you should be able to join the server.